Morning everyone, Glenn Calloway from the basement back with another video. This time I am going to steal a page from my friend Larry Graves' book. Larry does these videos where he picks two random stacks of CDs and then gets you guys to choose which is the better stack. And he always lets you trade one back and forth, and you know the whole deal there with Larry. They're fun videos. So I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to put decades against decades. And I'm going to kind of take the champion decade and then I'm going to put it against another decade. So the one decade, we'll see maybe which decade wins. So anyway, 60s versus 70s to start off. I'll show you my 60s pile. Then I'll show you my 70s pile. They're 10. Obviously, you can't change decades, so these 10 are these 10. The Zeppelin debut, 1969. The Who, Sell Out. Some people's favorite Who album. My favorite Who song is on there. I Can See for Miles. The Amazing Freak Out, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention from 1966. The 60s wouldn't be much without Jimi Hendrix, his second album with the Experience, Acts as Bold as Love. The Kinks, one of the great acts out of Britain in the 60s. Arthur. The Love and Spoonful, one of my favorite pop bands from the 60s. Do You Believe in Magic? This was their debut album. It's a great record if you've never heard it. The legendary Otis Redding, one of the great voices of all time, and one of his greatest albums, Otis Blue. That's a the CCR, Cosmos Factory, a classic. Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, and finally the Rolling Stones' answer to Sgt. Pepper, their psychedelic album, Satanic Majesty's Request. That's 10. I will show you the list after I wrote them down, so don't feel like you have to take notes. The 70s. Let's start with the Stones and Sticky Fingers. Then let's go with another Zeppelin album, Physical Graffiti. Linda Ronstadt, the female who kind of ruled the 70s. Don't Cry Now. This is kind of a country rock album. The Epic, Close to the Edge, yes. ELO, El Dorado. CSNY, Deja Vu. Derek and the Dominoes, Layla and Assorted Love Songs. Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards. Dark Side of the Moon. And finally, this one just made it. Released in UK in 1979, in the US in 1980. So I'm stealing it from the UK. London Calling, The Clash. So that's the 10. I'm going to hold up my list so you can read it. There's the 70s list. Here's the 60s list. Now, while I'm at it, my good friend Steve at All the World's a Stage, he started what he was hoping to would become a thread running through the vinyl community on 5 artists that he does not have in his collection and would never have in his collection, and he was hoping people would respond. I don't like to talk about bands that I don't care about. Like, I just don't get any thrill out of doing that, but because Steve is such a good friend, I am going to kind of pick 5 here and ask you guys to please go to Steve's channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Steve's a great guy, has great taste in music, has a great channel, deserves your attention. So my 5 would be Aerosmith. I own no Aerosmith. Will never own any Aerosmith. Here's a surprising one. Queen. I own no Queen. Not going to happen. Oh, and by the way, these all have to be bands that could fill a 20,000 seat arena, and no divas. So you can't pick some obscure band that you gotta pick like top 10, top 20, top 30 bands of all time here. This is a tough one. I don't own any Metallica. Sorry, just not in my wheelhouse. That's 3. Styx. 4. I was going to say Klaatu, but I don't think they could fill my living room. And Journey. There's my 5. I will never own any albums from those people. So let me know. 60s or 70s. And let's see who wins. Oh, I should say who I picked. Damn. Oh, my Lord. This is hard because there's some great albums in both. I think I'm going 60s just because, that's kind of my wheelhouse, the 60s. And I love Highway 61, Satanic Majesties. I could live with all these albums. So I'm going 60s. Let me know what you think. And everyone have a great weekend.